All right.
Welcome to another episode of the Popko Project Podcast, a platform for the discussion and discovery of arts and entertainment. And today I am honored to have Dave Hause on the podcast. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on, man. This is lovely. I am in my car, leaving the car wash. I was tardy for our interview, and I beg pardon for that.
It's all
But
it's all good.
I am here and ready to rip.
This is really cool for me for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
So I was first introduced to you. I don't know if you were a guest or if he was just playing songs from your new album, but it was Mike Davies' punk rock show on BBC Radio 1. This was back in
Yeah.
2013, right?
Okay.
So this is 12 years ago. I was introduced to you by him, and I've been following you ever since. Um, and this is also going to be episode 250 for me.
Whoa, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Which doesn't
That's
sound like a
awesome.
lot, right? But the statistics say that 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode three. And
Yeah,
then
that
90%,
sounds
yeah, 90% of that 10% don't make it past episode 20. So
that sounds incredible to me. I don't
it's cool for
am
me.
yeah, man, I'm very much in the headspace right now, just in awe of anything working. Any creative, concentrated, organized endeavor working is magic to me because I see every impediment.
Yeah, it's just time. It's commitment. It's being consistent, and
Hmm.
I love doing this. Like I started this. It'll be 5 years in December. I've been in radio for a few years now. I'm on the radio, so it's like a passion project for me, and I love being able to talk to musicians about what they
Yeah.
do, why they do it, and you're definitely one of my top gets, I guess you could say.
Oh, well, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah. Hope I live up to your expectation.
Well, man, I mean, you've got a new record, and it's out streaming now, and the Mermaid, and it's fantastic. It really
Oh, thanks, man.
it's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about that. What does this record mean to you compared to, your past albums?
Well, I think it's important not to compare it to past albums.
Sure.
It's a lesson I've learned along the way. I think for me, I can like figure out some of the differences, some of the things that are really cool about it that other records we haven't done. But each thing, each record feels a little bit like a marking on the door of your height or of wherever your growth is. Um, and so for this record, I wanted to get the whole band involved. I love the band that we have. We don't work enough, in my opinion. I mean, if it was up to me, I would treat the Mermaid the way Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers worked, or Jason Isbell and the 400 unit worked. But part of that is you have to have a lot of success. You have to be able to keep that band working and have enough people coming out every night to, in every place you go, to sustain that financially. And we can do that in regions, in sections, and in concentrated periods of time, but we can't do that all the time. So, but I love the band. I love the guys. It's just a wonderful group of people that are super creative and that have a great time together. And so I wanted to turn up louder. The songs I had coming out were just, they just were inspired more by punk rock, I guess. Had been getting my kids into Green Day and Rancid, and I took them to see the American Idiot Dookie tour, and that was like a reminder, like, oh man, man, do I love this. And there were a couple different things. I mean, our festival, the second year we had the loved ones reunite, so I was doing that, which got me into that, the physicality of playing that way. Strike Anywhere played that year too, which was like one of the most inspiring punk bands to me in ever. And so I just had that on the mind and put the band together. And we had this opportunity to go up to Canada and record in Vancouver based on this grant that they were offering in order for us to work with this guy that I've been wanting to work with for years. His name's Jesse Gander. And so it all kind of clicked into place, and we wrote the record together as a band and then recorded the record together as a band. And the reason that's unique for me is I guess since I went solo, just put together whatever the right group of musicians are for each individual project. And that's been different on each project. And I haven't done the thing where our live band track. This was the first.
Yeah, this is the
It
first
was
time.
really, yeah, it was really special, really fun, and to have their energy. I mean, those four people know what I'm trying to do really intimately. They understand it. They've been playing whatever was tracked on each record for years and years and years. And not only that, they have their own incredible talents, incredible creative perspective. All
Yeah,
of
what
that
was
coalesced.
yeah, what was that like as far as the collaboration was concerned? Like this was your first time bringing that band into the studio to record. What was
It
that?
was magic. It was so fun. I think that it's important just as a human being first, but then also as a creative person to try to get new perspectives into your stream as often as you can. And I've had the honor of doing that over the years with various people. My brother being kind of the main one. I brought him in, I guess it's over 10 years ago now. But his approach, his perspective gave me a lot of new ideas, a lot of things to push back on or to employ. And that's true with each member of the band. And so to have younger energy in there, I think is really exciting. And we just had fun. We had 2 weeks, and I wasn't sure how proficient the band would be. And they dashed all of my expectations and hopes. I mean, we were recording 2 or 3 songs a day in and day out, and getting great material, great tracks, great takes. And it just kept adding to our confidence, and we just kept working. It was awesome. I mean, I'm hoping we can do it again soon because the energy it was so wonderful.
Yeah, and I feel like this is almost like a return to that, in a sense, to that 2013 sound with Devour. And you
Mm.
described, this as your rock and roll band distilled into 10 songs. What sparked the urge to return to that kind of raw, unplugged energy?
Well, yeah, again, I was spending a lot of time showing my 5 and 6 year olds at the time punk music. I got really into the band Idols. That was a big thing. I had played with the Loved Ones. We did some shows with the Bouncing Souls, which is another kind of like you go like, oh, I guess we should probably not play so many quiet ones when we're out with a band like that. And so you get all revved up and get into that headspace. And just all those things were sort of leading me back to thing that I think I can do pretty well, but I haven't been doing that often. I've been touring a lot more as a solo singer-songwriter, a duo, with my brother, but quietly, seating the crowds and giving them a night of lush arrangements and finger-picked versions of songs and stuff like that. We had made 2 records in Nashville that were a little bit more Americana or rootsy. Um, so it just felt time to turn up, and that all those things kind of turned in that direction. Also, I think the times we're living in call for a little bit more urgency.
Yeah.
And so, punk rock is very useful, a way to like deliver anger, frustration.
Yeah, let's talk about that. There's a song, Enough Hope. Obviously carries some strong social commentary. Um, talk about what, you mentioned punk and all that kind of stuff, like, and what kind of themes run through this album.
The gamut. I mean, there's some fun in there. There's Rumspringa, which is just kind of a song to throw your arm around your friend and sing loud in Germany. It doesn't have a ton of socio-political weight, but there are things like revisionist history and enough hope where we're trying to sing the time we're living in, and we're frustrated, I think, as people who believe in liberal democracy and equality and trying to live in a culture where we celebrate our differences instead of try to draw divisions.
Right.
And I don't know. I just the enough hope thing was a frustration with how much billionaires were involving themselves in American politics, and we knew that horse was out of the barn with Citizens United. Um, just to see Elon Musk get involved and just how gross that kind of power structure
Hmm.
felt as a working class person. And so Enough Hope just felt like let's just try to get in their head for a minute and see what it might feel like to be in that position. And the cynicism that sort of abounds when you've already won the lottery in life, being a billionaire. And then you're like, well, you know what else? I got some other ideas about politics and how working people should live. It just feels not representative for the working class.
Right. It's definitely a strange time.
Yeah.
Um, I remember watching the what was it called? I forget, but it was one of the speeches that Trump was giving and seeing Elon Musk and
Yeah.
the guy from Facebook. I'm drawing blanks here.
It
But
was the inauguration. Mark
yes,
Zuckerberg.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Right.
Zuckerberg and the guy of Google. I'm like, why are all
Hmm.
these people with so much money in the same room? Like, what's going on here? Yeah.
Well, what's going on is it's a grift. It's a con,
Yeah.
and they're going where power and money are coalescing. And all we really have in the White House right now, man. Whenever you wonder, what would he do? Fill in the blank. Why would he do the Tylenol thing? Well, there's an angle. There's an angle for someone,
Hmm.
and he is carving the American economy in order to benefit. So yeah, it's a tale as old as time. There's been con men before, nothing like this, nothing on this broad of a scale, and you know, it's time to fight back. Enough's enough already.
Yeah. Well, talk about the song "Look Alive" because that one for me was like that did it for me. That's like one of those songs that you climb a mountain and shout from the mountaintop. That's a what an anthem almost.
Yeah, I'm glad you dig it. It
Dude, it's
was a
awesome.
song that came in late in the game. We were mostly done the record, and Luke had been working on that on the plane ride out. He had mentioned it to me. Like, well, what do you got? Let's hear it. And we felt like we already had tons of material, enough material. Um, but I'm always like, one more. Well, what else you got? Kind of. And then I can usually decipher pretty quickly, like, all right, well, this might be for another record or another project, but let's hear it. And he played a portion of it, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And I think right away I was like, okay, change that chord, change this. I'm not going to sing that. We'll sing this, and we sort of got quickly right on track with it. And everyone had the same level of excitement. Hey, let's finish this. And so from Luke playing it on an acoustic guitar in the control room to a recorded version, what you hear probably was about an hour and a half, something like that. And very easily he could have just kept that in his hip pocket and not brought it. So it's fun when people respond to something that almost didn't happen. It's a reminder that there's magic in what you do and sometimes magic in what you don't do. And so I just feel like it was a gift, it was like something that came down the river that none of us were expecting, or and then everyone sort of put their little stamp on it and got it where it is, and it landed right there on your player in the same way it kind of landed in all of our laps. It was really cool.
That took an hour and a half.
Something like that, yeah. Not
Jeez,
long, but from idea to completed track, yeah. I mean,
that's
we were
amazing.
really humming at that point. We were far into the process. It's like maybe the last day the whole band was there, or the second to last, something like that. It
I always
was
find it cool when like these great songs. Oh yeah, it came together in 20 minutes or it came together in,
yeah,
45 minutes. Like wow.
yeah, it was pretty special. And you just never know. And I think like, well, it's why you want to stay open. It's why a lot of like why I love to do this. It's like you never know what could happen. Something that is bigger than you can happen and transcend what your expectations and hopes are. That's really special. I think of this as a job. I think of it as a sometimes difficult but really rewarding job. And when I talk about it that way with friends of mine who are my age and working in their jobs, like this is the kind of thing in their job that doesn't happen.
Hmm.
You don't get magic like, and so I'm really, really grateful for the ability to experience that. It's really special.
Yeah, I bet. Another great song I really liked. You're out of my hair.
Yeah, it was
Another.
cool. That was Mark had an idea. I think he had some melody, the melody of the verse, and some of those cool chords, but no lyric, no no concept. I think he had a different lyric. But I fully deleted the lyric and wrote new lyrics to it. And we were playing it as a punk kind of thing. It was kind of like an Alkaline Trio song. The way we had it recorded. I think we still have it recorded somewhere. There's a version of it that's really up tempo and pushy. Um, but it just wasn't quite doing it for me, and I just wasn't as excited. And then, I said, what if we got into a groove here? Like, think My Morning Jacket or something. And Kevin, that's like one of his favorite bands, if not his favorite band. And he played that groove, and suddenly it just felt a lot easier to deliver the lyric and the story. And then I was like, wait a minute, you're out of my hair, and I'm pretending I don't care. That's all we need for the chorus. We don't need any more of this information. I think I was using the bridge as the chorus. So that was another special magic thing where it was something I wasn't necessarily convinced on, but the band wrapping our arms around it and trying different things and running it down created this wonderful vibe. I mean, there's a reason we picked that as a third single. We loved how it turned out. And again, you don't get that unless everyone's open, willing to work, and has a fully, creative approach to it. Because we could have said no at like five different times on that. And it ended up turning into one of everybody's top favorites. So
Hmm.
pretty exciting how that worked out.
Yeah. And you've been doing this for a long time, right? What kind of keeps you
I guess so.
inspired? Yeah, it's been a long time. What keeps you inspired and moving forward?
Change is good. I mean, I feel like I love the process. I love a little note in my phone or a little note on a scratched piece of paper or a little melody turning into something that, 500 or 1,000 German people are singing or, going from that through that whole rigmarole is so fun to me. And then, the performing part of it, the touring part of it, love too. So there's things about all of it I just truly love. There's things about it that have become more cumbersome and more difficult to manage with a family at home and stuff like that. But still, I feel like it's the job I've always wanted and the job I get to have. And so that in and of itself is inspiring. But I think just trying to stay open and have a long conversation with an audience is the goal. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. And so getting to do that is great. And you want to kind of respond to the world around you and the things that are happening and the people you love and the country you love and are frustrated by. And I think all those things keep me engaged. I read a lot, try to pay attention to what's going on with my loved ones, and all that stuff is plenty of inspiration. There's too much inspiration for the amount of songs can reasonably release. So
Yeah.
that means there's more material than there is demand, I guess. If I was Taylor Swift, I could probably release like 20 or 30 song records once a year, but we try to keep it within a reasonable amount, and then we have to go tour. That's like, our way of earning our living. So it's a big balancing act, but the inspiration part, it's that's that's kind of the easy part to me. I like I like creating. I like making up songs, and I think surrounding yourself by with other creative people who are just as excited is another way to stay inspired.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, you have a job that a lot of people would love to have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it, and I take it seriously. Or that's one of many reasons that I take it seriously. I also
Hmm.
just think it's an honor that anyone would listen. I mean, I'm flying tomorrow to Germany to play for 20 days or something to people who don't speak English as their first language, and we're going to play to thousands of people over there. I mean, that's incredible. That's when you say that to your neighbor who doesn't necessarily know who Minor Threat or you know, they don't really know the underground music context within which we're working. When you say that to a regular person that you're like at a PTA meeting with or whatever, they're like, and that's helpful. You're like, yeah, isn't that crazy? And they go, yeah. So yeah, it's a wild life.
Yeah, especially now you drop an album, you have a family, and now you're going on tour. How do you keep it all together?
1 minute or an hour at a time, if I like this morning, I got one of my twins was sleepy and one was like up super early, so we watched some SpongeBob, made him breakfast. I said, you want to walk to school? Yeah. And so we walked to school. I took the other twin, he was sleepy, she got him there, and so I spent that hour and a half focused on hanging out with one of the boys. They're in school, then you got to go over and say, oh, do we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed for tour? Yeah, I think so. Um, and then I'll pick them up, go back into being as focused as I can on them. And, tomorrow will be a travel day. So it's just like every other job. You focus on the thing that's most immediate, and hopefully you have the wherewithal to remember that your family's more important
Yeah.
than your work. And sometimes I get that wrong. I do think having lost a parent when I was fairly young, I was 26. Mom was young. She was 49 when she passed. Like, I feel like I'm on borrowed time. My
Mm.
kid's late. So I keep death on my mind in a sort of a Buddhist way, and try to go like, all right, they want to get in the ocean. Let's get in the ocean. Go down the street and get in the ocean.
Yeah. I lost my father when I was 22. Uh,
Right. There
same.
you go.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
I never really thought about all that until I had kids. Like I didn't really
Yeah.
care, right? And now it's like, if I can live forever, how do I do that?
Yes. Right. Right. I just want to die one day before my kids do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to weather that storm. But yeah, I want to see what happens. I'm
Yeah.
so intrigued to see what happens with these little guys.
Yeah, it's my greatest joy for sure. And I was on the fence of having kids. I was like,
So was I.
if we have
Yeah.
kids, great. If not, that's okay too. Like we're having fun
Yeah.
together and traveling and stuff. But I can't imagine not.
I can't imagine not, because I get to go for weeks at a time and sort of have that freedom and watch the movies I want to watch and read the books that I want to watch. I mean, I'm usually working a lot, but
Right.
tour is pretty demanding. But it's my greatest joy. Yeah, all that I've been able to see and do has been wonderful. But there's nothing like.
Oh no, we lost Dave. Then we lost connection. Oh man. Hopefully he jumps back in. Yeah, Dave Hause has been a guy that I've been following for a long time. He's got a bunch of albums out. So check him out streaming everywhere. I was first introduced to him, like I said, in the beginning of this, through Mike Davies' punk rock radio show on BBC Radio 1. And his album was called Devour. And that's what kind of, got me hooked on Dave Haas. And he's been in other bands too. I think you mentioned them before. The Loved Ones was one of them. And as you could tell, he's really a down to earth, humble dude. And he's just this new record. It really and the Mermaid is really a fantastic, fantastic album. Um, we walked through some songs. Look Alive, You're Out of My Hair. Um, what was the other one we talked about a little bit? Enough Hope, kind of a politically charged type of song, but yeah, this is just a real raw energy, um, and it's kind of cool. Like I feel like a lot of bands I talk to now have really been um, plugging in and just like letting things rip. It's not overly produced. It's just like we're gonna let the people hear what we truly sound like. I've talked about that with the band University Drive recently, and a bunch of other ones. And it's kind of cool. It's almost like I don't want to say resurgence, but it's kind of seemed like that to a degree. Like I said, Dave said he's going on tour. You can check. He's not locally, he's overseas. He's going to be doing a bunch of different things there. And he's also part of a festival in Philly called Sing Us Home, which I think is a big festival in Philly. I'm not really familiar with that, but I forget who else is part of that. I want to say the Menzingers are actually playing that. They're kind of from the Scranton and Philly area, but hopefully Dave comes back. I do want to ask him a few more questions, but he may have lost connection, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But like I said earlier, this is episode 250, which is a pretty cool accomplishment for me. I I really love doing this. I've had some great opportunities to interview some really talented musicians, not only locally to my area, but also regionally and across the world. Some of those highlights include Breaking Benjamin, Tantric, Cold, The Verve Pipe, Bowling for Soup. Um, and it's just been a really great thing for me to do as, like I said, a passion project and something that I'm really passionate about. And I'm so honored that people give me an hour of their time. And but yeah, head over to the Popko Project on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere, socially, and obviously on Spotify and all those streaming services as well. And check out some past episodes. Um, but yeah, I'll give Dave a few more seconds here. I'll actually pause it to see if he comes back, so I'm not just rambling on here. But if this is the end, I'll come back, wrap things up, and just thanks so much for tuning in. All right, we got Dave back. This has probably been one of the most difficult interviews to line up, and then we have technical issues, and
Yeah.
uh,
Well, you were asking about what it's like to try to balance
yeah,
family
yeah,
and music and career and all that. Well, this is what it's like.
yeah,
You end up
dude.
doing half the interview in the car while you're getting the car washed and filled with gas for your wife, or you're going to the grocery store.
Uh,
It's just it's a lot to manage.
I totally get it, and you're doing a great job.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
Maybe not with the interview time, but
Dude, I mean, this is like the least of your worries, right? I mean, like I said it before, I'm honored to have just a little bit of it because I know, like we said before, you're out, drop the album, you're going on tour, you gotta make sure the family is all set. But one thing you said and what kind of struck with me is, just kind of realizing that we don't have all the time in the world, and
mm-mm.
when the kids ask you to do something, because I'm the same way, it's like you just go do it. Because I always said I never want to. I want them to, when they grow up and they're adults, I want them to be like, mom and dad always, they were always doing something with us, and they never told me no. So if my kid says, "Can we go play catch in the backyard?" Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
I think losing a parent and then also just the nature of our job where I'm gone and home and gone and home reminds you don't have this it reminds you of time's fleeting nature. So you end up when I didn't want I was at a barbecue yesterday with the kids and friends of ours, and all the adults were talking, and my sons were like, "Will you throw the football?" And I wanted to talk with my adult friends in a more, connective way.
Hmm.
But thankfully, they had all started to drink pretty, like the booze was kicking in, and I was like, "It's my window." I went and started throwing the football with the boys because I was like, next week I can't throw the football to them. I'm going to be in Germany.
Right.
I'm going to be in the Netherlands or whatever. And so I think sometimes those reminders, if the universe sends you one, you should try to take it. So that's good you're doing that with your kids too, man. I mean, um, they grow quick,
You
so
do.
make it count.
Now you have twins. I always joke with my kids. I wish we had twins. 'Cause we have two and two kids only, and then we're done.
Okay.
Uh, and I always wonder like uh, it would be cool to have twins because like once they're out of diapers, like it's over. So my son was out of diapers, fully potty trained, and then we had our daughter, and it was right back to
Yeah.
square one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the thing about that though is it's like 4 or 5 years of really
Yeah,
intense, difficult.
yeah,
And so in that way, the pandemic for us was really a gift. I mean, it was hard and stressful and scary. But when we were able to zero out the outside noise, we just were raising our kids quietly and not missing anything. We were just from them turning one to them essentially turning three was home.
yeah,
So so I was able to be more of a teammate than I sometimes am now with touring and stuff. But um, yeah, twins is a trip. It's really extraordinary. Um, and that is so fun to be a part of and watch and to navigate. It's a challenge, but right now the challenge is pretty great. Because like you said, we don't have a little one that's still those little one challenges.
yeah,
We have two like skateboarding, excited, almost 7 year olds, and
yeah,
it's super fun.
yeah. Well, you are originally from Philly, correct?
Yes.
And I just saw you did a cover of a song by the Menzingers, who are also from Philly. Now we try and say they're from Scranton, which was where I'm from. They might,
That's where they are from.
yes, yes. I think they're like, I think their home base is more Philly now, but
Yeah, they've
uh,
been in Philly for a long time now,
a
I
long
think. But
time.
they formed in Scranton, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah,
relocated to South Philly, and then got like most of their grip on what they're doing in Philly, and
mhm.
that's where they do the best. I mean, they're a pretty successful band in Philadelphia. So,
Yeah. The cover you did was Lookers. I thought was really well done.
oh, thanks. We did that live. The cover you hear there, that's a live version we did when we were out celebrating the record's release in Philly. And it was kind of a teaser. We did a Mountain Goats cover and a Menzingers cover because they're the two headliners for our festival that we put on in 2026 in Philly, May 1, 2, 3. And so we'll play a headline length set, and then the Menzingers will close on Saturday. And then, oh, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying this.
Well, I did see the Menzingers post about the festival, so I think you're all right.
Well, no, I mean which day, who's playing. Well, basically, the three headliners are us, the Menzingers, and the Goats. But really, they're the closers. Those two bands close. If you can just bleep out the which day I said who they're playing, that would be so rad.
Okay.
Don't also don't worry
I'll
about it.
I'm not very tech savvy as far as
Yeah, don't
see what I
worry
can
about
do.
it.
I'll see what I
I
can
don't
do.
think it's. I think people kind of understand how it works at this point.
Yeah. But and that festival is called Sing Us Home.
Yeah, Sing Us Home Festival. This is year four. Last year was our most successful try at it. We had Frank Turner and the Bouncing Souls headline here, and so this year we're really off to the races with getting an early start on locking in the bands, and then an early start on putting it on sale, and it's so fun. It's like we turn into promoters. That's another hat we have to wear. Say we, it's me, my manager, and my brother Tim. And so that's been really a fun thing to form and then cultivate over the last decade.
Cool. And what is that? What do events like that mean to you as both an artist and a fan?
Um, well, initially it was just kind of a wacky idea, like, oh, maybe we could do this and maybe it would be successful and maybe we'd make money. Was kind of the initial impetus for it, frankly. But I just can't help myself when I get involved in these things. I want to make them as cool as I think we can make them. And so rather than being so focused on making money, we were focused on it being fun and being comfortable. And so it was like, well, let's have kids 12 and under be free. And let's make it all close and close knit and really kind of only invite bands that we believe in. And so inevitably, we're making it a little bit more complicated than we have to in terms of it being like a financial thing. But we're building something that's cool. And now, after a couple of years, like for instance, my three nieces are like preteens, just right in that age, like between 10 and 15 kind of thing. And they think of it as like their favorite weekend of the year. They put it up there with Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff. And so by doing something that we took time and consideration to do, we made it like a holiday for our family and our friends and our extended family of the fans and stuff. And so that's more special to me than having like this incredibly lucrative thing. It's we made a thing we can believe in that our kids are excited about and our friends are excited about and there's grandparents coming to that thing that are excited about it. So it's been a really wonderful thing to sort of be a part of or guide or whatever, but it's been a labor of love for us and for our manager Alex and keeping it organized. It's been wild.
There's nothing better than a good festival. And I went to Ocean's Calling. Uh,
Oh, you did? Oh,
I
cool. He was
did.
there too. Our manager Alex went to that
Oh,
to
really?
to check that out. Yeah.
It was the first time going, and so of course, 3-day festival. Friday was beautiful. Didn't have tickets to Friday. Sunday was beautiful. Didn't have tickets to Sunday. We had tickets for Saturday, and it rained
Mhm.
all day.
Oh, no.
And sometimes I'm the kind of guy that's like, "Oh, this sucks." Like, how this, of course, it would happen to us type of shit, you know. But
Hmm.
the vibes were so good. It didn't even matter that it rained all day. Like we had such a good time.
Yeah.
It was so well done. OAR and Friends, I feel like they kind of stole the show for us.
Hmm.
And it's just, being able to see that many bands in one area, um, and you're amongst other, you know, uh, musician lovers and entertainment lovers. It was just a great experience.
Yeah. I mean, if you can keep the vibes high, things like rain or challenges that come up with any event can be mitigated by staying positive.
Yeah.
And we learned that in year two, we had two full 48 hours straight of rain. And instead of like there were definitely points where I was like, this is it, we're never doing this again. And we rallied. Again, Alex and Tim were crucial, and then the rest of our team, our production team, were all like, "No, this event's great. Look at all the people that stayed or came in spite of the rain," and it gave us the confidence to keep going. And then year three was our biggest and best yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's about keeping the vibe, and I think that's been a thing. We had Tim McElrath, the singer of Rise Against, play our songwriter round last year on Friday night. And I was asking him, I mean, he's played every big festival in the world. And I was like, what do you think? He was like, man, just keep it close to this vibe if you can. It'll just grow based on people wanting to be here. He's like, don't be in a rush to get giant bands or make it into something that people can go to in any city. Make it yours. Was like such a helpful and emboldening kind of piece of advice to get from somebody who's seen and done it all. And
Yeah, we have a festival here in Scranton that just started. It just happened its fourth year. I think it was September 12th. The Menzingers were actually the headliner.
yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, James Barrett is the one who one day, I think it was 2021, is like, I want to do a festival. And James Bear is a fantastic musician as well.
Cool.
If you're looking for something,
Nice.
I think you'd dig it. But yeah, so it's cool. It's kind of like on the I don't know, shouldn't say same level because I have not been to the Sing Us Home festival at all. But it's cool, like you're saying, like when you have that, it's kind of homegrown. It's from the
Hmm.
bottom up. It's you're not trying to, shoot for, you know,
Coachella or something. Yeah. No,
yeah,
we're not looking for that. We're looking for more of an event that we can manage, be fun for everybody, and a place that feels more like a family reunion or like a county fair sort of feeling with a professional stage and like great sound and that.
yeah,
So yeah, we're trying to thread a few different needles, but worked so far. And I mean, knock on wood, we'll keep going if people keep coming.
yeah. And you mentioned Tim, and I think you have a cover of one of his songs on your new album.
Yeah, that was a song that when I did the revival tour about 10 or so years ago, 12 years ago, 2013 actually, he would play that every night and he never recorded it and put it out. And so I was like, I would run into him, he'd come see us in Chicago, or I'd go see them in California or Philly or whatever. And I was, what's going on with Bible passages? And he would kind of chuckle, like, I don't know. I don't just had it for that tour and I never did anything with it. And I was like, when we were putting songs into the Google Drive for potential recording of this record, like, what if we did this song? And he was like, man, that would be awesome. And he sent me a demo of it, which is super cool. I have it on my phone and I love his version. And then we recorded it and he was pumped and the band was all into it. And it just is a song that I love and believe in. I mean, my wife always loved that song. My kids love that song. And I'm just glad it's somewhere to be heard, like whatever. Yeah, I just think like the older I get, the more, if I can be part of something that is not really about me, just about everyone having a better time, then great. In other words, like I didn't write the song, but sing it and perform it, and the world's just a pinch better because that song's being heard by more people than it was when it was sitting in Tim's phone. So, yeah, cool song, and I'm glad people get to hear it now. I hope I can hear him sing it next time we cross paths. Maybe he can jump up and make it better.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, couple more questions, and we'll wrap things up. What do you hope fans feel when they first hear this album or any of your music?
But they're not alone. That someone else out there feels some way similar. I think that's always the goal.
Hmm.
I get it. I know what he's talking about, or at least I kind of get the feeling and feel that way too. And that connectivity is what keeps the whole thing going. I believe people hear it and feel a little bit less alone.
I mean, I always say music is so powerful, and it's really great that we have that and we can relate to it and be connected through it.
I
So
agree. Yeah, man, it's this close thing to magic that I've experienced.
yeah,
We,
well,
we get to do it, and hope we get to do it for a little bit longer.
hell yeah, I hope so too. Many years. You've been at it for so long. It's funny that
Yeah, you never know though. I mean,
I
things can
know,
change quick,
I
so
know. Well, when I heard "Look
important.
Alive" too, I'm like, man, this sounds like, not that lyrically what I'm about to say it sounds like, but like it almost feels like the bow on top of the present. Like this is it. Like here, if this is
That's
the last
awesome.
thing we do, like here, like this is
I'm glad, man. Yeah, I'm happy it turned out that way.
yeah,
Looking forward to playing it for people.
yeah. A couple of fun questions, and I'll let you go.
Hang on one
Um,
sec. I just have to say goodbye to my wife. She's leaving
oh
for
yeah,
work.
take your
Just give
time.
me 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay, we're back. Sorry to take up your morning.
No sweat. All good, man. I'm happy to do it. Thanks for giving me a chance to talk about the work.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm honored.
Yeah.
Your first album you ever bought with your own money?
First album I bought my own. Money, Brian Adams, Reckless. Hey,
Okay. Do you have a guilty pleasure song or band?
no, I don't feel guilty about that stuff. I think that having been in punk and hardcore, I mean, most of my life I've been in various sects of whether it's a religious thing, I was raised evangelical, and the rules in that drove me crazy. And then I got involved in heavy metal, and the rules in that drove me crazy. And then I got involved in punk rock and hardcore, and the rules, it's just, there's so many rules that humans love to make. And so, having gone through all of that and hearing what you can and can't like from various punk luminaries over the years, no, that's not cool. And it was always from a place of insecurity, whether that's Kurt Cobain or various people in my life that were in positions of power that told me what they thought was and wasn't cool. Sublime's not cool. It's like, okay, I mean, they're cool to me.
I like
I
that.
didn't ask you.
I like that.
Uh, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And which maybe in some weird way makes me, that's the only real claim to punk I have is like, I don't give a fuck what you think I should or shouldn't. I like Third Eye Blind quite a
Hell
bit.
yeah. Me too.
Like, I'm trying to think of like other bands that get considered to be guilty pleasures. I'm like,
Well, I mean, I always got made fun of like because I was a Creed fan from day one. And
yeah, like that's not music I would spend time listening to. But when you see, like, for instance, I saw some relaunch. Like, I guess they're coming back or something,
oh yeah, they've been back
or they've been back. Okay,
the
so I
last
don't.
year or so. Yeah.
But the guitar player in that band is really good at playing guitar.
Yeah.
Like you can find something about anything that has a certain quality that's special, and it's that many people getting joy. Oh, Nickelback or Creed,
Nickelback.
those would
Yep.
be bands that I think, they're not my cup of tea, but like I would never want my kids to feel like it's not like they can't, I don't know. Imagine Dragons have been a big thing in our house in the last year or so because the kids hear that at after school or and I don't mind. Like
I li-
they're joyfully singing along. Like
yes.
they could be getting radicalized on the internet. That would be certainly a worse fate than listening to Creed or fucking
Yes.
Imagine I don't know. I'm not into that like stuffy, stodgy. And it's weird how often people just assume that I am. I have a friend, our kids are on a soccer team, and one of the dads is a screenwriter, and he's always shocked. He calls me a poptimist. He's like, "Oh, you're a poptimist. You like Sabrina Carpenter?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she's really good at songs.
It's really good. Yeah.
Like, I don't have that thing anymore. I mean, I shed that. I'm a huge Swiftie. Like, I'm into all kinds of shit.
Hmm.
And I don't. There's stuff I don't like, but
Sure.
I don't think you shouldn't like it.
Right.
That would be absurd. What do I know? I'm just some doofus
Yeah.
who does his thing.
My if I'm ever asked that question, I always say it's Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie.
Friends of mine in much bigger bands, they have to do this. They oftentimes choose to do tours with bands that they're like make them squirm. I'm always like, why would you squirm? Go play with Linkin Park. Go play with whoever. Like if you can go out on tour with some giant band and further your reach, like go for it.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
That
go out of my way to listen to it at my age now, especially, but like when it was on the radio back in the day, I was like, this is a good song.
that bug me. Don't get me wrong. There's singers that bug me, but
Yeah.
I just don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Why do I want to yuck somebody else's yum? It seems juvenile to me.
Is there a song that you wish that you had written?
Yo, yeah, there's so many. Um, Take It Easy. Axel Brown wrote that, and the Eagles made it famous. Um, Beat It. I don't know. I mean, there's the list is a mile long, but I
Hmm.
mean, closer to home, you know, there's certainly songs that friends of mine have written that I'm like, ooh, they got a good one there. Damn, I wish I wrote that. There's a song called Violence by Rise Against that I wish I wrote. Um, that song 45 that Brian Fallon wrote for the Gaslight Anthem.
Hmm.
That's a great one. Um, Trusty Chords, of course, by the for music. But also it's just so lovely when your friends set the bar high. So, the Bouncing Souls have like some of my favorite songs that have ever been written by anyone. Gone is to me like wonderful song as RO by Bad Religion or You Are My Sunshine or it's like a anthem for the ages. And so I'm mostly just happy that it exists rather than going like, I wish I got that. Like
Right.
I'm much more focused on what can we do next? Like I'll be excited to get some time and some hotel rooms on this upcoming tour with just an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
See what,
What's the last TV show you binged?
oh my God, is that show good? It's got
What's
two more episodes left. It's on HBO. It's set in Philadelphia.
what's it
We're
called?
in
I'm
the
sorry.
burbs.
It
EASK with Mark Ruffalo.
God, cool.
Whew,
I just wrapped up a show called Franklin and Bash.
about that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was really well done. I mean, I grew up with so Mark Paul Gosselaar is the guy who played Zach in Saved by the Bell. So I grew up watching Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah, right, right.
But him and his the co-star, they just have a really great chemistry together. They're very funny. It's a good like I don't have to pay 100% attention to this. It's just kind of like it's a good show.
Uh, we've been on Task, and then the morning show over on TV we've been watching too with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, cool.
That's fun too.
Check that out. All right, last question. If you weren't a musician, what do you think you'd be doing?
Acting in some capacity. I mean, I had some success with that when I was doing the loved ones. I had a partner and we were doing pretty well, doing light commercial and pretty involved residential work, like big additions, full remodels of homes and stuff. And then also we got involved in like some more production oriented work in like 2005, 6, and 7. And then it went on, but then I probably would be involved in that game because I think it's risky, but the reward's great. I like working with colorful characters. Probably that. And I do think with AI kind of coming, one of the few things that we'll be able to really count on as a way to still earn a good living. If you're a plumber or a carpenter or a electrician or whatever, like your job's not gonna,
No,
robotics is not far enough along to frame a house. I don't
no.
think, at least not in a way that would replace carpenters. So yeah, probably that, I would guess. I mean, that's what, at different points. I mean, I live in California, it's really expensive. At different points, I've toyed with doing that and making music less of a demand just because I want to be home with my kids. But I've done the math and I would be gone from 6 in the morning to 6 at night pretty much. And I
Hmm.
get to see my kids when I'm home all day and go to volunteer at their school and be involved in their life, take them to the skate park and stuff. So I haven't made that pivot. I don't want to either.
Right.
Thought about it just because I hate leaving my kids. It's so
Yeah, I got you. Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck with the tour. Best of luck with the new album.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so sorry that it was a bumpy ride to get here, but
It's
I'm
all
glad
good.
we did it. And I appreciate your focus and determination to get the interview done and patience with me and our
Of
team
course.
and stuff. Mm, It's been a pleasure.
I'll leave you with Go Birds.
Hell yeah. We need it, man. And we just finally lost for the season.
I
But
know, I know.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're looking great.
Yeah, we are. We are. So,
We
Dave, thank you again. I appreciate it. And best of luck out there.
Thanks, man. Take care.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Yeah.